Let me not try to sound so depressed. Welcome back to She, the NBA Junkie and B-Ball Junkies. You know who we are. Um, let's get into this series that wasn't supposed to end within a week.
I mean, it was only one, or really, what would it have been? It would have been on Wednesday tomorrow. I called it in
Yeah.
6. So, I mean, they got one, and it was a very lucky one. I mean, Jamal Murray's step back three almost rolled in game 2. So, I mean, since we left, it was game 3, 4, and 5, and Miami
Yep.
rolled over in game 3 and 4 at home. They went back to themselves.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of people were saying that. And I think that's what it might have been Shannon who was saying that this morning, that everyone is like, well, what happened to Miami? And it's like, nothing happened. This is a team that they were in the regular season. They just been playing at an extremely high level that it's surprising that they even got to. And now they've reverted back to themselves. And themselves was never good enough to win the entire thing, which is why they were an 8th seed to begin with.
Mm-hmm. And
So
this is actually what I was thinking about earlier. Thinking about to talk about today since this was such a boring series. But I was thinking about it. The regular season truly does matter unless you
yeah,
are a very, very select few people. And I believe it's LeBron and shoot now Jokic just got because I can see on full display that his IQ is so crazy that it's always gonna be perfect, basically. So I'll add him into it, not needing to have a good regular season, but the regular season matters. Miami was bad all season. They got lucky, so it's gonna always come back. I'm trying to think. 2015, the Warriors were good. They were a really good regular season team. Both teams in 2016, obviously, the Warriors are the greatest regular season team of all time. And then Cavs were good on the East. 17 and 18, those dominant Warriors teams. Again in 19, the Warriors team, but they got hurt. And then Kawhi on that Toronto team was a very high seed too. So I'm trying to think, is
yeah.
anybody who recently won hasn't been dominant or very, very good in the regular season? And
The
no.
Warriors, the
And
Warriors last
last
year,
year, but no, even last year I think they were they were number one
they
seed. So they
started
played
out
good.
super dominant because they were like neck and neck with the Suns for the top seed. And then like when Steph went through that shooting drought trying to break that record, it went downhill.
Oh yeah, y'all were number one seed, and they were still a high seed. They're like 2 or 3.
They're like
So they
four or
still
five, 4 or 5, I think.
no, they were not that low. Let me look it up.
I think the Grizzlies were 2. No, the Mavs were 4. So Warriors might have been 3.
Yeah, because they were still high. Because they started off so good, it gave them a cushion.
Yeah.
But I still like the regular season matters because even those Celtic teams they had that historic second half of the season after the All-Star break and was number one team in the league.
Yeah.
So like every single one of those years, those teams show you throughout the year that they're a dominant team and they're worthy of being in the championship. Yeah, Warriors were 3.
I'm
Yeah, Warriors 3 and
my
Grizzlies 2.
team,
Grizzlies
the
2 back
regular
to back is crazy.
Yeah. The Grizzlies, hey, now they can be considered like just like the Suns. For them, the regular season does not matter because we can be the best team in the league and still go into the postseason. The Grizzlies were hurt. They were
No,
hurt.
I'm just saying as like when we're looking back at it, like looking back on the teams who usually make it and usually win were good the whole time. So it's never really a shock. And but yeah, like the playoffs are a whole different thing. But I mean, with y'all is because Chris Paul, your teams always have a Chris Paul, so he's gonna always get hurt in the playoffs or something's gonna happen to those teams. And I mean,
Man,
last year, I don't really know exactly what happened besides y'all wet the bed the last
uh,
game. I think Chris Paul was hurt. He usually is hurt.
he always is.
Yeah, and shoot, same thing with Memphis last year and this year. Dang, I didn't even think about it like that. They've been hurt both of these years. They've been top 2, so they're knocking at the door. And I guess y'all re-upped with KD, so y'all still right there too.
And what else? Because KD didn't even play how KD was supposed to play. He can't not show up like that again,
Nah,
or else it's just gonna go done.
I think it'd be disrespectful to think that he would do that. Well, this has been 2
Hey,
times.
he disrespected the heck out of me now.
Yeah, this has been 2
Okay, I'm
times
giving
in the
him a
play.
pass in that Celtic series
Yeah,
because literally all the defense was collapsing on him, and Kyrie could not do it. It was basically like how Devin was this year. Like
Jason
they keep
Tatum
on talking about KD's
and Jaylen
gravity,
Brown were
but
playing crazy defense on KD,
yeah,
especially Jason Tatum. He was playing very, very good defense. But hey, maybe Kevin's hitting that point. Who knows? He is old. But
he ain't no, we ain't going that far. He just
wait,
needs to start making
how old is
shots.
KD? Let's
He's
see.
34,
Oh
35.
yeah, he's 34. September 29th, so he a couple days after you. So yeah.
Libra.
Well, I don't know. What are you thinking about next year? You think they're gonna repeat? I mean, obviously you're not gonna pick over your own team, but I guess it's not fair to see
The
whoever.
Nuggets, absolutely not.
Yeah, I
No.
guess it's not fair. We gotta see. This is about to be a big summer, I think.
They
So
better enjoy this win. Coach Malone up there talking about we want another one. Well, you ain't getting it. So let's focus on this one
I
because
saw
it's done
that.
now.
I was like, this dude has been taught. He been wishing his whole 8
Talking
years.
so much.
He been talking,
God,
wishing,
I'm
praying.
glad he finally won. He can shut up.
He had that one in the back pocket for I don't know how long.
Yes, him
Oh
and Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown talk, I'm about to get paid. Like, bro, shut up.
yeah, and then he gonna
God,
pull a Jordan Poole and
exactly.
a bad season.
You're
But
gonna be good for this team and this team only. That's it.
this was a good. I don't know. Denver was just they literally. I think it was JJ or somebody said like Denver has a weapon, or it was Patrick Beverly. He's like Denver has a weapon at every single position. And it's serious. Like that's why I think the Celtics, at least on the defensive end, was the only team that can compete because they have 5 through 5 that are all NBA defenders. And so that matters, especially when you're going against people who, at least for the most part, can get a bucket on a normal defender or in the Heat case, multiple below average defenders and then no inside presence at all. At least none. I mean, Bam can block shots, but I wouldn't consider him a shot blocker.
Miami is a great defensive team, but at some point, it's not all about defense. You can't just sit there and lock down superstars. So at some
Especially
point, they
against
have to be
Denver.
able to produce offense. Yeah. So maybe the Celtics would have been able to do a little bit something, but if they start not making shots again, they would have been in the
But
same
that's the
boat.
thing. I'm so mad at them because that's the thing. They have 2 all NBA players. Both, I mean, Jaylen Brown this year has got people saying he can't dribble now, which I mean,
Maybe.
he
He
led
was
the league
saying it
in
last year
turnovers.
too.
Yeah, so I mean, but he has been proven this dude can get a bucket, and Jason Tatum
Yeah.
is. I mean, even the Denver's best defenders, what's his name? Aaron Gordon, he's 6'8", 6'9". Jason Tatum's 6'10".
Yeah.
So his size it's not that big of a deal anymore. Also,
Right.
with Jaylen Brown, KCP, that's, if they don't equal each other out, I still think Jaylen Brown wins that because KCP didn't have a good series. So, and then the Celtics, when they don't fall in love with the three, which is rare, but when they don't, they drive and they're amazing at it. Plus, there was no
Yeah.
interior presence in his defensive team for Denver. So, I mean, the Celtics, they definitely missed it. They missed the opportunity. They came back from 3-0 at home. I know Jason Tatum got hurt, but they missed a big opportunity.
Yeah.
And I know they hurting about this because Miami just showed up. I mean, they didn't show up. They reverted back to right before the play-in.
And realistically, if anybody else would have got this version of Denver that was in the finals, they were very beatable in that series. But Miami literally had nothing else to beat them. Like
Miami
I had a
well every
Heat
game.
fan tell me that they got like the best version of Denver at the end. And I'm like, bro, if we would have got that version of Denver, we would have won.
Did he not watch the Western Conference Finals?
Yes, like what is he talking about?
Where they
Y'all got the
elevated their game?
slightest version. Man,
There,
this was
oh my
the
gosh,
most
I can't
beautiful
believe they said that.
look.
That's a
Yeah.
horrible take because Michael Porter Jr. was benched in the clinching minutes of Game 5. Meanwhile, he's going off in the previous series. Same thing with KCP doing dumb stuff this series and not shooting as well. Like this was, I wouldn't say like, I mean, they went above what they've been doing in the playoffs against the Lakers, but they came back to earth and they actually gave Miami a shot. But like I said, Miami's margin for error was so thin. They had to be perfect every game, and it was the wrong time not to be, especially with Jimmy hurt too. So congrats to them.
Yeah, I'm not giving him credit for that hurt because Devin Booker snapped his ankle off and had to play through it. Jason Tatum's ankle was snapped off and everybody got on his head. I don't care about Jimmy's ankle. He hurt that ankle 2 series ago. Suck it up.
Well,
if nobody else gives excuses, we're not giving him any. It's time to have the conversation. Especially after you just tried to trademark Jimmy Butler. Yeah, no more.
Watch, he about to have ankle surgery. It's serious. He about to have ankle surgery.
Yeah. It was just a bad sprain.
And I thought it was crazy how, well, one, I heard about how Jokic said, or in the post game, that he thought winning a championship would feel different, which I'm like, okay, sure.
He really hates being an NBA or something.
Did you see how he just left the Finals MVP trophy on the table and walked off after
he doesn't care about that?
I was like, bro, like what?
This doesn't mean anything. He want to give it to his farm and his horses and Serbia.
That's crazy.
He don't even want to parade.
This dude, he's interesting. But I'm glad, well, on to him, because I want to transition to what NBA Twitter been talking about. I guess the biggest thing was him being top 5 greatest, greatest big man or center specifically of all time. And I think the picture was him, the picture of Bill and Will, David Robinson, Shaq, Kareem, and somebody else was at the table.
Hopefully Timmy.
And probably Hakeem too. And they were all at the table and like
Tim Duncan is a 4. They don't consider him a big man.
No, Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. So yeah, he's a 4.
Okay.
So yeah. But the thing about that, because Shaq posted a graphic about it too, and every single one of the big men that were included in his graphic has at least some form of achievement that shows that they're an all-time or all-league defender. Right. And I think if you're going to say he's part of the greatest big men, especially top 5.
Yeah, he's got to be able to defend.
Yeah, because it's not fair to every single one of them who are all-time defenders. And especially when you talk about the Wilts, the Bill Russells, especially the Shaq when he wanted to be. Right. Every single one of them. And then Hakeem, who was also historically special on the offensive end, but also leads the league in blocks forever. Right. Because if you want to match, I know they don't want to do that, but if they match up Jokic with each one of them, he gonna probably kill him on the offensive end, but it's not gonna be easy because they're all league defenders. They're gonna give him some issues, and he's gonna get worked on the other end. So like I would say he's top 5 offensive center, and I'll say he's one of the the best I've seen. So I'd say top 5 offensive players of all time. That's what I would say.
I guess I got to get his fat slob some credit, bro.
You got to, because he never failed.
I mean, no, bro. Top 5 offensive of all time. So like over the Michaels, over the Kobe.
No,
over the KDs.
No, offensive.
Over
okay, I'll give the full. Well, I don't know if I'll put him at. Well, okay. I think. Well, obviously LeBron, because he's the leading scorer of the NBA, so he has to be, in my opinion, number 1.
I don't know how to. I think Perk said it when he was like, he's the top. He leads the league in points, but he's not one of the greatest scorers. Which I mean, it doesn't seem like it makes sense.
It can't make sense because he leads the league. He's the leading scorer, so he has to be one of the greatest scorers of all time. It has to be. That's like saying Hakeem's not one of the greatest defenders when leading in blocks.
Oh, no, that's not the same. Man,
You
I
can't.
don't know.
JJ's video
Sense.
about all the arguments against LeBron diminishes that one because he is the leading league scorer. So I mean, the biggest thing that tracks that, he has it now. So you can't say he's not an all-time scorer and not one of the greatest. I think so. I wouldn't say Jokic is above Kobe and them, but I'm saying he's a part of that. And I know what you
So
mean.
he's
It's just
top 10.
offensive players, and like Kobe, Steph is unbelievable. And I think that's also a big part of his greatness because I mean he's a 6'3" guard. He's not guarding nobody significant.
Mm.
So yeah, I just think Jokic is a part of that. I wouldn't say top 5 big men because in my personal opinion, you gotta have that defensive aspect to be considered a top 5 scorer of all time. But offensively, of everybody, he's up there. And this solidified it. He led the playoffs in every major category, which I mean, they want to say something, but I mean, LeBron did lead like 7 stats in the finals. So I mean, but Jokic he's putting up some scary numbers right now.
I swear I'm not trying to diminish what he did, but like literally, they lost a combined maybe 3 times.
It said they
So,
lost 4. They lost 4 games. They lost 2 to y'all. One,
oh yeah, 2 to us,
yeah, 1 to the
1 to
T-Wolves
Miami,
and 1 here.
1 to T. So, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from what they did, but I'm also not trying to just say like they were just so dominant. Like I don't.
Yeah, I don't see it that way either, especially
I don't
when
know.
you look at, well, I mean, the T-Wolf series wasn't that competitive. Y'all series
No,
I'd say was competitive, and because y'all won 2 games, but I mean every game was a blowout, was it not? Like y'all blew them out, they blew y'all out.
no, we
It
won by
wasn't.
like 5 points and 7 points.
Oh, okay, well, I feel like Denver still had control even though they were losing those games. Or at least
Nah,
I thought that there was no way that y'all were going to Denver and winning at least game 5 and 7 if it were to happen.
I
But
did.
our at least the games that we played were highly contested. I know what you mean. Like it didn't feel like they just dominated everybody. And we lived through the dominant Warriors who lost 1 game the whole playoffs. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't see the domination either. Which I mean they lost 4 games, but dominant
I
now.
don't know. Y'all series and also with this Miami series, even the game they won, I didn't feel like they just ever had control of it. Even when they got a lead last night, I didn't feel like they were going to win the game.
This was just the worst. Every time it got to crunch time against Miami, I knew Denver would be okay because Jokic is going to make a good play. But that's why
Not only Miami going to do something stupid.
yeah, I couldn't watch it because Miami's just so bad. Like it's not fair at all. It was so
That's true. 20% in the finals or in the playoffs. I'm not sure. Shooting horribly on open shots. Like, what are you getting paid for then?
he scored 0 points in 2 games of a 5-game finals series. This is gonna haunt him.
Players just disappear. Bro.
That's gonna haunt him. But I mean,
It didn't help. Jimmy disappeared right with him.
yeah. But he was hurt. I'm telling you, he's gonna get surgery.
And
It's
nobody else gets
I
that.
guess it's that significant. They wanted to harp on it, so maybe it is that significant. You know the Heat don't like no babies, so I don't know. Maybe it is real. But they gonna have to make some offseason moves. I don't know Denver's specific situation of who they have to resign and all that, but I know it's been big that Miami and Dame have been in the news recently. What do you think about that potential like matchup happening?
I think he has a better chance of going to Brooklyn than he does Miami.
But why do you want to go to Brooklyn?
Why would he want to go to Miami?
Because Miami's been to the finals 2 out of the 4 years, these last 4 years, and they've been to the conference finals 3 out of the last 4 years.
Brooklyn has younger stars. Clax is, I don't want to say he's just as good as Bam, but I feel like he's definitely better defensively than Bam, easily.
No.
but Clax can be great. KD made him great while he was there.
Bam has
You
very little
go,
offense, but it's more than Claxton's. So like that, it's just Claxton's big. He's just
all
bigger.
them missed layups and floaters. I wouldn't. Hey, Clax can do a little something.
I watched
But
him fold in the playoffs. He gonna have to show me after that. I'm talking about Claxton with those free throws.
and big men struggle with free throws. Nowadays, they're better with them, but I'm not holding no free throws against him. Shaq
But
was a horrible free throw shooter, but he's a
has
legend.
Brooklyn
So
has Brooklyn been in like news for trying to get Dame or a team that's like trying to do that?
yeah, whenever he was on that live or whatever, he was on some interview with somebody. He was like, I wouldn't mind going to Brooklyn because Mikal Bridges is my dog. And then he said, but I also wouldn't mind going to Miami because Bam is my dog. But I don't know. He was doing a lot of hanging out with Mikal.
Well,
So
if he said that, then I guess we could entertain it. I didn't know he said that.
yeah.
I mean, Damian Lillard to quality, and I wouldn't say Mikal Bridges is a role player at this point, but to quality role players is
Cam Johnson.
pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I
But
think he can make something out of it. They'll still have to make some moves, but they got plenty of they got what 4 first-round picks that we gave up that they came done with it. So
they have a lot of
I
stuff.
mean
And then I guess Portland would have to, or I guess they just trade Dame. They keep that third pick. Never mind. But yeah, Brooklyn's loaded with stuff. That wouldn't be a bad place to go. How old is Dame? Because I know he doesn't have like too many years left, at least on big contracts and stuff. He's 32, so he's getting there. He's
to me, it wouldn't make sense for him to go pair up with 33-year-old Jimmy Butler, but
I mean, it's just because that's what Miami needed is somebody who can score. And Dame, oh my Lord, on this Miami team.
okay, that's what Brooklyn needs too.
Mikal
I
Bridges
was him.
scores with
I would
ease.
take my chances. You say what?
He scores with ease.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
think
who?
I wouldn't Mikal Bridges. Yeah, I
Man.
wouldn't say Mikal Bridges. I wouldn't say that he's like I wouldn't say like he's a pure scorer, pure offensive player, but he's somebody that I watch and I'm like, he makes it look very easy.
I mean, it's hard to judge him based off that first playoff series that he was playing, being the star of the team. He started out really solid, and then after that, it was like a struggle every single or the rest of the way in that sweep.
I mean, you got to also factor in
never
rhythm was probably messed up from Spencer Dinwiddie throwing up bad shots all the time. So probably, I mean, if he's the number one complete option, because Spencer Dinwiddie was trying to butt his head and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that's established, this is our number one, take a back seat. I think he even more. But I mean, with Dame there, that kind of put him back in his little bit. Would you consider him the number 2 last year, or was that still Chris Paul or DeAndre Ayton? Obviously before KD. I mean,
last year when
y'all had the number one seed,
64 and I forgot what we were 64 and 18, whatever. Yes, the second option was most definitely Chris Paul. That was the problem.
Okay,
but I feel like the third option, I guess, was DA. But I always knew that Mikal could do what Mikal is doing now. He just
very efficient fourth option.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing great. I could see that. I could see the Brooklyn thing, but I wonder what they'd offer up for them. I can't see Portland saying, give me, or not saying, give me Mikal Bridges, and then I'll give you. But I don't know. So that's Portland and Miami and a couple of Brooklyn there, maybe off-season moves. Your Chris Paul situation. Is there anything coming from Phoenix about any more about that?
I honestly don't know what we're gonna do with him. At first, I was like 95% sure they were gonna waive, resign. And I listened to Frank Vogel talk, and he was like, he's very excited for the opportunity to work with Chris Paul. And I was like, okay, that's good. Because if the head coach is saying that he wants to work with him, then I mean, and no one's asking him to say that. He's coming out of his way to say that he wants to work with Chris Paul. I don't know.
did coach us last year with Russell Westbrook. So he just loves to
And
be.
Russell is not better than Chris Paul at any point
But
in his career. I don't care.
I get there's no reason not to believe him, but yeah, okay. So
Oh
y'all
man,
they're saying is y'all might keep him, I guess, for the most
I'm
part.
hoping. I mean, there's a lot of other people who want him to be waived and stretched, and they want to keep DA because they want to clear up cap space. But you must not want to clear up space as much as you say you do, because what is 12.2 million going to do for you when we have a man stealing 130 million from us? That's the cap space that you should clear up if you really want to clear up some cap space.
That's highly unfortunate. And I heard some rumors about James Harden to Phoenix, and I was like, interesting.
We can't afford it.
Yeah,
That
I was
doesn't make
like, how would that work? How would that work?
If you want to get rid of Chris Paul to save money, what sense does it make to bring in and Dame? They're bringing up Dame. Why?
Oh,
How many
he has a
superstars you
huge
want on one team?
contract.
Like, bro, they gotta have some decorum.
His
I don't
contract's
even
huge.
count it to read.
Nah, I don't know. Well, Fred, what about Fred? He just opted out of his contract.
Don't want him.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that if the
His
Lakers
contract is
got
too
him.
big. Yeah, contract too big. He's too inconsistent. I think that's the problem with a lot of Suns fans. They don't watch basketball. They just talk.
It's unfortunate because Fred is extremely inconsistent. That's why they dealing his, or I guess they not dealing him, but he knew what was coming.
Yep.
By opting out. But I mean, he's
Yep.
trying to see if he can get some money. But I mean, bro,
He's being greedy.
small too. Like I feel like, especially championship teams, like you got to have a pretty good defense to want to compensate for a small guard. I mean, I guess we have.
They seem to think that Fred is a good defender, though. I don't really know.
Yeah,
I don't see.
I don't know.
All I see is that he's very inconsistent on offense.
I mean, if they say so, I'd place him in the average defender. He's not gonna get killed out there, but I wouldn't say, just because I don't know, I wouldn't say he's a good defender.
Right.
So speaking of small guards, the Trae Young chatter about coming to the Lakers, I don't like that.
I don't either.
Again,
y'all don't need a superstar.
And I don't even know his contract situation looking like either.
It's probably huge.
But it's that clutch relationship. Every clutch player.
You say what?
Every clutch player, the LeBron's agent.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not his agency, but basically, every clutch player come to Lakers because of Rich Paul. But what were you saying?
I think I saw a Lakers fan on Twitter say that they just want a consistent 3-point shooter to be brought in. So I guess Trae is inconsistent. I don't really watch him a lot. That's pretty fair judgment, though.
I know he's a consistent, I'd say 20, 25 and 10, which is very, very good because he's been top 2, if not number 1 in points and assists every year these last couple of years. So I mean, he's a very good player. He's a sniper. So I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the league. So I mean,
if he's hitting it.
No, but I mean, like he puts up volume and he makes them. Let's see what his thing was. His 3-point percentage this year, because I know he was struggling. But I mean, if we can get him with keeping our people, I don't want to lose nobody for him. I know we're going to try to make moves because LeBron threatened retirement. And so something's going to happen, but I just don't want them to make
think I should give up Rui or AR for Trae Young. That's youthful talent. That should be priority, is re-signing them. And then you can go fill out the other spots.
No, yeah.
But
that's definitely priority this year.
Don't lose them.
That's what it's been seemed from our reporters close to the Lakers, was that that's number one priority. Number one priority is Austin, and 2 is Rui. And I think we're going to also try to sign. Oh my gosh, he had his worst, or besides his rookie year, his worst shooting year in his career. He shot 34% from 3, but it's really 33.5. But I rounded up to 34% from 3. he took a step down in points too. Yeah, he just had a little bad year, but also DeJounte Murray was there taking up some shots and stuff. So,
Right.
but yeah, I think that's our two things is to keep them. I really would like to keep all of our team. We don't got too many high level dudes, but I want to get Kyrie really
Yeah.
bad.
That should have been the goal before. Honestly, before you got no, because Rui is good for y'all, but yeah, I still feel like Kyrie should be for all those fans who are we're good with D'Angelo Russell, keep Kyrie over there, the team
Hell
killer
no.
or whatever.
Not coming back.
Yeah.
He not coming
And
back
Suns fans want
unless
him.
some crazy stuff. Suns fans?
I'm telling you, they don't watch basketball, bro.
Oh, y'all can
I'm
have
telling you.
D'Angelo Russell.
I'm
I don't know
telling
what
you.
he would do on the Suns. It's not like
I
he's
don't know
like
either,
a
because he's not a pure point guard. So what do
yeah,
you
he's like a scoring point guard. So I mean, like, what
he
is he
got enough
doing? Marcus
scoring?
Beal don't share the thing, and KD just sit in the corner or what?
Right.
Because
And then
DeAndre
he doesn't defend. So what?
ain't gonna defend. And he
Ugh,
likes to
I
have
can't.
he likes the he wants to get his shots off type of shit. Like he was mad coming off
Yeah.
the bench for us when he knew he was struggling. So like he's type person to let me get my shots too. Yeah, I don't know if y'all want to deal with them problems,
Yeah.
but y'all do have a
That's selfish.
authoritarian owner, and I don't know if he's the best basketball guy either. So
That's what's scaring me. I don't know if he has basketball knowledge just because he's been around basketball all his life.
yeah, I mean, obviously that doesn't account for anything. This dude just has a lot of money. I hope he fired.
Right.
I mean, I guess my personal opinion, I think Monty Williams is one of the best coaches in the league, but I guess not. If I mean, he hasn't really done anything besides go to the finals, so I guess not. But it's a hard fire for me. Like, and it's your first year, bro. You don't even know him.
I
Like,
mean, they think that whatever relationship that he had with DA matters and he needs to get along with his team in order to be successful. And it's like, who cares if they don't speak? Show up, do your job. Like, I don't care about that. That is so annoying.
I mean, shoot, he bought it. I guess it's his team. If he wants to drive into the ground, he can. He got KD, so it's going to be pretty hard to do that. So,
Right.
lucky for y'all. But I mean, we're coming up on the end. Anything else you wanted to highlight on?
I mean, no, until we're just all waiting with our breath held for whatever penalty Ja is about to get hit with.
It's gonna be
Hopefully it's not too
an
extensive.
interesting sentence to see what he has to serve.
Very scared for him.
Think the draft is next week? Question mark?
Yes. On the 22nd.
Dang. That's actually crazy. Like
might be some crazy trades on that day, actually, that don't just involve the rookies. Kind of holding my breath for that one because I don't really know where we stand with.
Yeah, I want to know when the thing starts, like when they can officially start doing stuff. I know Denver traded something during the dang finals, so I'm wondering what their team's waiting for. Like,
I think free agency officially starts in July, maybe the 1st. But I don't know if they're allowed to make trades on trade night or draft night or what.
Who knows? So we got 17 Lakers, and y'all don't have a first round pick.
Have anything? No, trade it all away.
I don't even.
We weren't good.
I don't even see y'all in the. Yeah, y'all don't even have a pick this year.
No, we traded this pick this year, or no, I don't think we had a pick this year. It was next year that we had a pick, but that's to the Nets now. So
yeah, y'all don't got a pick this year, so you ain't got to worry about the draft. But I've been seeing a couple names shortly just from the Twitter people about people we've been bringing in for the 17th pick. It could be a good pickup. The Lakers have a really good scouting organization. D'Angelo Russell too.
yeah,
17. I mean, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo before he gets hurt. So I mean, they do well. on the scouting. They're not a very
Yeah.
rich organization, but we have good scouts, so I think we'll be good. Anything else? Until next week, I guess.
Yeah, I guess next week we should be either approaching the draft or it'll be all already over. So hopefully we'll have a lot more to talk about then, because this series was as boring as we said it was going to be. And F all of you who said we didn't love basketball, we didn't want to see this crap.
Indeed. And this was the most watched playoffs. Also, the funniest season.
No idea.
It was. I saw the thing on Twitter, but the funniest season thread that they had on Twitter was so funny. Man,
That was fun.
Like, I watched almost like 95% of the Lakers games, so I think this is the second season. I'm gonna make it 100% next year. This is one of the best seasons I've ever experienced, and it's gonna be hard to top. But I'm excited for the off season.
Yep, me as well, I think.
We'll see what happens. All right, then. Let's close them out.
All righty. Y'all know where to find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, She the NBA Junkie, on YouTube, B-Ball Junkies, and 446.
All right. See you later.